When she was a little girl, there was this cry from the yard outside of my house. She was screaming, and I rushed out to find out what in the world is going on. And a dog was chasing her. The dog was barking and nipping and making all kinds of noises, and she was terrified. The dog wasn't that big, but as far as she was concerned, it was too big, and she was running in terror. She kept saying, she calls me Poppy, Poppy, Pop, the dog, the dog, the dog, and she jumped up into my arms, wailing and heaving with fear and frustration and being terrorized by the circumstance she found herself in. She hung on to me as the dog came up near my foot, continuing to make these threatening noises, just terrorizing. And she hung on to me, and as she began to get her composure, she looked down at the dog and then looked up at me. She looked down at the dog and then looked up at me. She looked down at the dog again, then she looked up at me. Then the next time she looked at the dog, she said, nah, 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 nah. Everything had changed, but not her circumstance. See, the dog was still there. The dog was still spouting his authority. He was still making his noise. Something had changed in her. And what had changed in her was my presence. The fact that I was now part of the equation gave her a confidence she did not have, a sense of victory she did not possess, and even a willingness to face her enemy with authority. I have said to you that I wanted to spend our days on spiritual life, coming at it from the perspective of spiritual authority. Because what I am discovering in life and in ministry, far too many Christians love Jesus but have no authority.
All right, now it's time to do it, man, because I really hate when preachers do this shit. So at this point, we dealing with either a dishonest pastor or a very unintelligent pastor. And I hope that y'all can see through this man's bullshit. So basically what he's saying in his analogy about his granddaughter is that when she saw the dog, she was scared, she was terrified, but then she came to him, her grandfather, and then she all of a sudden gained his confidence. So in his analogy, you are supposed to be his granddaughter, and the evil in the world is supposed to be the dog, and God is supposed to be the grandfather. The only problem is in the story, he's there, people. She can clearly see him. She can talk to him. She can touch him. She really has a relationship with her grandfather. You don't got no fucking relationship with this God character. He ain't there. So when you look up to this God character, when you're going through the bullshit and you say, oh, I got some confidence because I see this. What do you see? Look up, everybody, right now. We're going to do an experiment. Look up. Everybody, look up. If you see God, first of all, you need to click this link and join in and turn your cam on so we can see him too. You probably delusional, my nigga. If you don't see God, if you see the roof or the sky, then what the fuck are you believing in to give him the thought that he can make this analogy and that it will work on you? But see, this is what preachers do. They'll spend a whole hour, and I watched this video. You know what I'm saying? I watched this whole video. It's an hour long of just him doing this, just little stories that sound good, right?
Yep.
But it don't mean shit. Deepities is what they call them. To the extent that they're true, they are trivial. That like love is more than just a 4-letter word. Oh, it sounds real good. Love is more than just a 4-letter word. But guess what? Fart is more than just a 4-letter word. It's true for fart. So it don't really mean what it sounds like it mean. It sounds like it means something, but it really don't mean shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's all his whole analogy don't mean nothing because he's there in his analogy, but God ain't here in real life. You can't see God the same way you can see your grandfather. So the little girl, she better get some confidence when she see her grandfather is there to protect her. But if her grandfather wasn't there, she just started talking shit to that dog, she'd be an eating ass little girl. Eating, did I say that wrong? Eating ass little girl. She'd have got her ass eaten.
Yeah. Because it's like they try to compare themselves to God because they see themselves. It's like, okay, so he's using himself as an analogy of God, and the way you broke it down, he sees himself as the analogous of God, and the child as the analogous of the person that's seeking God or believing in God. The granddaughter does not no longer have to believe that her grandfather exists because she has objective and empirical evidence that her grandfather exists.
He's right there.
Right motherfucking there. But with me and Kweli, man, you know what? I had to, and I don't mean bring my business up, but I had to borrow money from Kweli one time. I couldn't rely on Jesus, but when Kweli sent me the money, I needed to borrow money. Shit, if I was a believer, shit, I ain't saying Kweli wouldn't be my friend, but I'm better off getting money out of Kweli, for help than to say, Jesus, please let something fall in my lap. Let me go scratch a lottery ticket real quick and get that $1,000 or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that was a dishonest, bad analogy because you're basically saying you're trying to put God in a realistic perspective when it's you really that's acting as the God. Because you being a preacher or somebody of authority, because he spoke a lot about authority. He said authority like 50 times. So he speaks a lot about authority. So is he putting himself as an authoritative figure? And his congregation less than that? I mean, I don't know.
They all do. All these preachers do. But you know what? It's not even just the preachers. It's the congregation do it too. Like people look at preachers as if they above regular folk. You know what I'm saying? Like even a little baby got a song. I seen a preacher get caught cheating, as if that's supposed to be. Oh, nigga, I would expect a preacher to cheat before a man that's not a preacher because the preacher lying every goddamn week.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But from their perspective, from a little baby's perspective, a believer's perspective, a preacher is above doing that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like he ain't supposed to do that. You know what I mean? But they put them on these pedestals. But then we all find out that these motherfuckers is not only are they not living up to the pedestal that y'all put them on, and they just regular people, but they a little bit worse. Like you got the Eddie Longs and the Creflo Dollars and all these people that not only are they not good people, but they actually are pretty bad people, you know what I'm saying? And then you find that out, and you know what I'm saying? It's like,
that's not only that. It's right. It's like, well, God didn't really call them to the pulpit, and when they do something bad, you know what I'm saying? So God didn't really call them, but you listen to their ass until they did something fucked up, and it's all of a sudden God didn't call them to the pulpit. God really, it was the devil. Like for real, y'all gonna follow somebody that y'all think God called to the pulpit, but then when soon they do something fucked up, oh, it wasn't God really didn't call them.